Hello and welcome to an all new episode of Men and Women Talk the Mars Venus Show. I am your host, Kente, all the way live from Los Angeles, California. This is episode 119. We're doing our free for all episode. Once again, I am here with the beautiful, the talented, one and only Shannon. How you doing, Shannon?
I am good and tired.
I'm excellent, and I'm very happy to be here. But you are back where it all started, right?
Yeah, this is true. You
Yeah.
talking about podcasting?
No, I'm talking about where you started.
Oh, because I was like, I did my nerdy, black and nerdy podcast in this room last May.
You know what? You're right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So now, is this the house you grew up in?
No,
Oh, okay.
I grew up on 4014 Paxton Boulevard.
Which is
I
a
don't live there anymore.
landmark now.
No,
Well,
but
I'm
it's all good. I just got here today. We drove here from Illinois.
all right. I'm glad that you're here. And all right, so joining us, so let's start with ladies first. Now her screen is gray. Uh, Marison.
Sorry,
Oh, okay. You're hiding.
I'm
All
here.
right.
Sorry.
Okay.
Where's the screen? Yes. Hi. Sorry.
And also joining us is the one and only Keenan. How you doing, Keenan?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for having me.
All right.
I always appreciate y'all content and things y'all do over here.
Thanks for
All right.
joining us.
So this is a free for all conversation. So we're going to just be talking about a lot of different topics, and we'll be taking stuff from the audience as well. So Keenan always has the great topics, and
Mhm.
as well as Mari saw. Oops, sorry, something was on my crawling on my screen. Um, and of course Shannon. So one thing I wanted to talk about before we really when we get into everything else is, we often talk about relationships on the show, do's and don'ts, and all that good stuff. Um, there's a lot of stuff that you know some of us may say are our line in the sand that we won't go past. Now, obviously, the extremes like you shot my cousin, you know, that kind of stuff goes without saying, right? Or you stabbed me, or something like that. Well, then again, though, I know a guy who got ran over by his girl and they still together like 8 years later. So I don't even know how you survive getting ran over, period. But let alone how does your relationships, survive after that. So I wanted to get into some of the things that are not so obvious that are kind of like the lines in the sand where you like, what, I can put up with some stuff, but that is too much. I'm gonna start off with you, Marisol. What's some of your line in the sand stuff?
Light in the stand stuff. Not dedicating time to me
Mm.
because, like I said previously, I am a single parent. I have 3 jobs. If I allow you into my world, and you waste my time, it's kind of like, really, really. That's like a deal breaker for me. Um, having another significant other besides me, big deal breaker.
Big deal breaker.
Big deal breaker. Even if I find out that she's just a jump off that you guys are hit it off every 6 months, and you didn't tell me about it, dude, that's a big deal breaker. I feel lies by omission are still lies.
Mm-hmm. They are.
Still lying.
Mhm.
Um, and that's basically about it because I think working around people who don't want to have children, while I have children, that's something that can be worked. Um, it's kind of moot at that point.
Okay. All right. What about you, Shannon? And we'll go to Keenan afterward. What are some line in the sand type stuff for you?
Everything that Marisol said.
Uh huh.
Um, no drunks, no punks, no spunks. Yeah.
No punks.
Yeah.
What do you mean when you say punk?
What
Yeah, that's a
constitute a
good one.
punk?
Yeah. What do you mean by punk?
I'll show you when I meet him.
Okay, so you saying that you need a guy that can stand up in a fight, you know, if the shit go down, that you can that he got your back like that?
I mean, yeah, I definitely would want somebody to have my back in a fight. Like, why are we fighting anyway? I'm not fighting.
It be like that out there in them streets.
Not the streets I'm gonna be in.
Look, man, I'm telling you, it's be like that where stuff go down and you might have to go back to back. You know, you never know, right?
I don't want no scrubs. No, I'm just playing. No.
Oh, I love a
Bless
scrub.
your heart.
It's not his fault he ain't got a car.
Bless your heart. As he's on his skateboard while you driving past him. Great. I don't want a drug dealer. I don't want an abuser. I don't want a gambler. I don't want nobody that's an excessive drinker, and I don't want a smoker.
Okay. Now I'm gonna go to Keenan, but I'll take a weed distributor. That's hilarious. Hell yeah, right? He might have some money. We talked about getting into fisticuff or over your woman, right? Or potentially over your woman. And we're gonna get to what your line in the sand is. But do you think as a woman that like there might be a situation where violence might have to happen and you know your man, right? You know he'll go there. Would there be situations where you omitting something that possibly might, you know, make it go there? Would you ever omit some information so that he won't get into a fight? Are you the kind of chick who be like, oh, my man gonna kick your ass, like that kind of stuff?
You talking to me?
Yeah, you first.
I would never tell a guy that my man is gonna kick his butt. Like, why would I incite a riot now? You come talking to me, I might snap, but no, they're not gonna do that. I don't like to incite riots.
Okay. What about you, Marcel?
So as much as I said I hate a lie by omission, I actually think that in this one situation, it would warrant it. So I have been in a situation where I was sexually abused as a younger child. My kid's father wanted to know who did it. It was a family member. I could not tell him, rightfully knowing that he was going to beat the living shit out of his family member. So I told him I didn't remember who it was, knowing full well that I know who it was. You understand? I think depending on the situation, yes, I would omit that information from someone if it was going to be in some type of justified, unjustified ass beating.
No. It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. So Keenan, let's go back to what's your line in the sand type, man?
Man, I love my natural women. You know, I know a lot of women out there use a lot of upgrades to, you know, present themselves in a way they love to. And power to you. I just love a natural woman. I don't care for all the makeup and the nails and the hair and all that crazy stuff. So show your natural look, you know what I mean? Be happy with that natural. And I mean, have some ambitions, you know, have some ambitions about life and a relationship, you know, be supportive, be you know, be driven to make things better in our life. I don't really like the nagging and the blame game, one up on each other type of situation. So I just want to be comfortable and give me my space too. That's another thing. I love to have my own little space. So I'm doing my thing. Like right now, my lady's doing her thing right now. So I respect that. I respect stuff like that. If you can't give me that, you know, that's my line in the sand.
Yeah, so you ain't down with the naggers. I'm right there too. I don't like being nagged at all. That's like one of my big pet peeves. Like I have a great memory, so I'm gonna do it. You know, so nagging just make me take my time. So, but
But love will make you do some crazy things.
it
Trust
most
me.
certainly will. Most certainly will. Now, you had something for us before the show. You said you was gonna save it for the show. So,
What's your question?
Oh yeah, I want to see who deals with rejection better, or even worse. You know, men or women. Let's go.
Depends on the person. I think people are different. I'm used to it, so I have
Let's
no
talk.
problem with rejection.
You saying generally, right?
That's what I'm saying. Generally speaking, she want to
Yeah.
zoom in.
Man.
Men,
I mean, there's situations where I could say men handle rejection more, but then
right?
there's situations where women handle. Oh man, that's a great one and a tough one.
You should take a poll for like the next free for all, so you can get an answer about
I
that.
think men act like they handle it better. That's true. You know, because like we. I'm high maintenance. I need a lot of attention.
That's still ain't telling us nothing about rejection, though.
Yeah.
I think it's men handle it the worst. So a guy goes from "Hey, mommy, you looking good" to "You ain't nothing but a stank fat bitch anyway." In like 5 seconds, on the step side. Meanwhile, are like, "Oh, word, you rejected me? Cool, peace. Next." In my experience,
you know what's interesting about that is I do have this thing. I'm telling you a little secret of mine. Is I like to say no, just to see how people handle rejection, and that makes me decide whether I'm gonna do something sometimes. And so, like when somebody wants something from you, yeah, they're gonna kick up to you and all of that stuff. But then when you don't give them what they want, how they gonna act? That's what I want to know. Is when I'm not gonna give you what you want. Let me see how you act then. So, and that that can change a lot. So, but as far as handling rejection, I think maybe men have a higher fear of rejection than women.
Mm-hmm.
Generally speaking.
Yeah, because we be trying to shoot our shot to somebody that's way out of our league, you know, be like, man, damn, look at her, she look good. I already know she ain't gonna holler at me, but let me see, man. Hey, how you doing? Can I buy you a drink? No, thank you. God damn. You know, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it goes. Fuck you! I wasn't wasting my money away. Like really?
Well, I think we do that. We do that.
After
we do that. I mean, I'm saying we, like I do it, but we do that so we can get like some of our pride back. You know, like after getting
you ain't hurt me. I ain't gonna cry. I ain't gonna cry in the car.
It depends. Jada says it depends on the individual. It doesn't matter whether they male or female. Yeah, but you know,
come on, let's be for the sake of the show.
Yeah, for the sake of the show, we're gonna take generalizations.
Okay, so women handle it better.
I know. Wait a minute. Jada can never be in a conversation about rejection. That she's never been rejected.
That feels like.
Yes, she doesn't even know what rejection is.
But if somebody do, that's the thing that I say. That women take it bad too, because they will be like, "Oh my gosh, like look at me, like you really just rejected me." Like
right.
Y'all go so internal, like it must be something wrong with me, type of feel.
I think if Jada was actually ever rejected, she would be like, she wouldn't even believe it. She'd be like, "Oh, wait, the cameras are coming out, right? This is like, I mean, this ain't real." But no, oh, Steph says ain't nobody checking for it. Believe me, there's a laundry list.
I understand, ma'am. I understand.
Okay, let's do that. Checking for you. Let's go into that conversation. And you know what, Keenan? I'm gonna ask you this as a man. The average, pretty young lady in your neighborhood or whatever, who maybe she ain't getting approached, right? Like, she's cute, but guys ain't approaching. But she probably every girl I feel like has a secret fan club she don't know about. Would you agree with that?
I definitely do. I mean, maybe it be her situation is as far as what kind of energy she's putting out,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, any guy can see beauty in anybody. I'm telling you, like we'll find a girl in the alley with a trash bag on, be like, damn, that trash bag look good on you, girl. Goddamn. You know what I mean? But I mean, it depends. It really depends on the type of person she is, really, and what kind of energy she giving off. If she want to be talked to, and I mean, it's a lot. Man. I don't know. I don't really know
Are you
how to
are you
generalize that.
are you I mean, you're in a relationship now, but you weren't born in a relationship. So, but when you was out there prowling the streets, um, would you ever, like, maybe in a club setting or just out and about, would you ever see somebody else's failure with a woman, and it make you go? And when I say failure, I mean like he tried to holler, take a shot, and she machine gun shot him down. Did that make you give you pause, or do you feel like, well, that's him? It's gonna be different if when I make my move.
I mean, some like I was talking about earlier, some guys got that too nice approach, and girls get unattracted by that too nice of a guy approach. So sometimes you got to be an asshole to show them that you're not interested, but really interested. Like, you got to do that 50-50 kind of play. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So it depends on the lady. It depends on a lot of things, man. Just having that confidence to go take that shot, shoot that shot.
Mm. Okay.
I mean, of course, you can capitalize on another dude. Like, oh man, look at that corny dude. That guy was corny, huh? Corny lines, yeah. You know what I mean? How you doing? I'm
Use his
kidding.
failure for your success.
Yeah, exactly. Rebound.
Hilarious. That's funny. That's funny. All right. So Marisol, um, when I'm sure you get approached quite a bit, right, Marisol?
Yeah, okay.
Whatever, Marisol. I don't believe it.
Rudy gets approached all the time.
Marisol.
All right, hold up. The last time I got approached, the guy was 24,
Uh-huh.
and I'm almost 40. No way. No way.
That counts though,
No way.
that counts. He was of age, and that was an approach.
Yeah, but no, it doesn't count because like I've known him since he's like 19, and no way. Like, no, it just doesn't count. I'm sorry. I'm
He got to
sorry.
learn from somebody, Marisol. He got to learn from somebody.
Yeah,
No.
that age gap. He can teach you something.
Oldest is 17. It does not count.
Yeah, I'm over it.
It does not count.
What you over, Shannon?
The lack of interest.
Lack of interest.
I said,
Okay,
what?
let me ask the question: is it that there's no interest, or is it just not interest from people you deem worthy of being in the castle?
Okay, so no one's stepping to me, no one's checking for me, nobody's coming for me. Like, I'm over it. I don't know why y'all be thinking I be playing, and we say this all the time. Like, roll the tapes back.
I mean, that doesn't mean that
Like,
you don't have good qualities and all this other stuff. You
oh,
just
I know I'm
wanted to-
somebody's hell, yeah. So it's not like I'm worried about a deficit in me. I mean, I know we all are imperfect people, and not that I'm.
You sound defeated though. You sound like you're just throwing in the towel.
I'm
like,
exhausted, literally today. But I'm just over the BS of dating in 2019. It's real stupid. It's like
You
garbage.
can have a lot of good qualities nobody wants. Well,
Right.
you know what? Okay, you know what? This is a great question. That's a great thing.
And nobody's checking for a girl that lives in Key West.
What are, for you, Keenan, what are some things that women value about themselves that they think it makes them high value or high value, like to men, that men, in your mind, men don't really care about that?
just being loyal, just being a trustworthy person, and not getting cheated on, not being not wearing that mask for a certain amount of time, and changing up in the future. You know, I think a lot of ladies get disappointed from the expectations from the guy, you know, telling them, oh, I'm this kind of guy, I'm gonna always be there for you, and you know, I ain't gonna never do you wrong. And then, you know, they end up doing it. So those kind of flaws really like ruin it for everybody, you know, knowing that.
What you're awesome, and you'll get, yeah, you will. I mean, it's no doubt, Shannon. So okay, like what I mean though is like, I know a lot of women, you know, they value, like, they'll be like, I got like 9 degrees from whatever school or something like that. Have you ever been turned on by degrees?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the main high qualities that I look for is intelligence, and that's, I said, ambition, and the things that you want to accomplish in your life. Like that's a turn on to me. You got some drive, you know, you can help me, you know, gas me up to make sure I'm on the same level as you, or even, you know, trying to, you know, make sure we on the same kind of course.
Intelligence isn't always measured by degrees, though. Just because you have a degree just means that you are a good writer, you're a good test taker, you have great presence in the classroom. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are intelligent. I'm sorry to say.
I agree. I feel like, to be honest with you, a lot of guys don't care about. I mean, like, it's one thing for a woman to be smart, but like, if you're like, you know, I think a lot of guys don't care about like someone's specific education, right? Like, I've never heard a guy go, man, that girl is wonderful. She got 8 master's degrees. I've never heard it. Like, it usually starts off with the physical, like, you know. Now I like that kind of shit, but it's usually I'm talking about well, not all. I wouldn't say all about anything, but it's usually like, oh, you dating Susie? Oh, tell me about Susie. And it's like, oh man, she got a fat, you know. It's like that. That's what you first hear about.
She's really smart, right? She got a degree in psychology,
right? Yeah, she have all the degrees in the world, but is that ass fat? You know, is what unfortunately what you hear a lot. And then, so I think that
that's just. I think that's just more of a trophy of like an accolade. Okay, I got something you don't got. You know what I mean? This man always want to one up on the next man. Like, look, man, she got a fat ass, but you know what I mean? She got some degrees to go with that, man. She gonna get some bank. She got to get a steady job, career, not a job. She got a career. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's the problem with it, man. We don't discuss that more.
Right. I agree with Steph said. That's it. That's why you end up with a baby mama and child support court with a woman you barely know. I agree. I would give advice, but the way I deal with men are so different than the typical woman. Yes.
Jada, you want my spot? You want to put us on to that?
Yeah. Are you dressed?
Face like Marisol currently isn't.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I'm kind of dressed.
Oh, wait, Marisol's not dressed? See? That's why she's on.
I am.
We're all family. Family. You know, we don't need to be dressed. You know.
Jada, I'm jumping out so you can jump in.
Let's go.
Jada. All right, Jada.
No, I'm actually not. I'm not dressed. I'm not appropriate at the moment, you guys. I was about to write it, but Marisol just jumped off real quick. So, hi, you guys.
Hey, Laura.
Hey, Jada.
What up?
Hi. So, like, I feel you, Steph. I understand where it says she wouldn't be dead if she was dressed. Exactly. So no, I wholeheartedly feel you. As far as like being out of the dating pool. But the thing is, like, it wasn't that long ago where I was single, to be quite honest. Like, even though I'm married now, it wasn't that long ago where I was, hold on, let me just close this real quick. Where I was single. So I had to relearn a lot of things about myself. I found out things about myself that I didn't realize because I was in a relationship for quite some time. And then dating all over again was different because so many things had changed from the last time I was single. So I get it from that aspect. But I think the way I deal with men overall is just different. Like, I don't give a shit. I don't, oh, can I curse on here? I don't know, because this is your platform. Oh, okay.
No,
Right? Like, for me, it's a lot of things where I just don't give a shit. And most men, and I know it's cliche also when people say like you are what you attract. For the most part, like, I know when it comes to my husband and I, we are very, very polar opposites. At the same time, we understand and we get each other, right? For me, there were certain things that I was attracting. The things that I wanted in men, I was attracting men that had money, men that would do certain things that I wanted, men that were intelligent, that were respectful, chivalrous, things that I wanted, qualities that I wanted, I ended up attracting. And again, I didn't compromise who I was. Like, it was just me. I was being myself. There were times I really just didn't give a shit. And there were men that just flocked to me and they gave me things like, I'm not talking about like little things. They would give me shit, and they would take me shopping. I would do whatever. Like, it was certain things. Again, I think I deal with men differently than most. I think most women try to like be prim and proper, and that's just not me. Like, I could, I think I'm real well diverse in that aspect of where I could keep it classy and cute. And there are moments that I'm definitely like, there's a ratchet side of me because I'm young and it's fun and I enjoy certain things, and they're just different layers to me. So, there's that fun side of me, then there's that sexual side of me, there's that articulate side. There are different layers to me. And I think someone who's
but it has to be something in the guy that bring all those qualities out of you.
Well, no,
I think the first thing you said is dude with money. So,
but that was just
top,
that was one of the things that I mentioned.
I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying in general. So, a guy with money, a girl will be more comfortable to open up because she knows that she's secure. She gonna get spoiled, all this other stuff. So all those other qualities start flowing out. But what if I had the degrees but no money and all this other stuff?
So I think it's whatever it is I wanted. You know what I mean? And if at the same time, if that was some of the things that I wanted in a man, and I ended up attracting that, then how can you fault me for that? Like it so happened I ended up getting, and even if if they didn't necessarily had money in order for me to do certain things, in order for us to go places and stuff like that. So it was what it was. I know you can't. Steph's like, I can't.
So if those guys didn't have money, to that comfortable situation where you want to open up, would that even be possible with you? But he had all the other great qualities where he had no money to take you out and all this other extra shit. If I was able to see that within him
prior for me knowing if he had money or not, I think I would know. Like, let's say if it was a friend of a friend and they were like, yo, Jay, I got this great guy for you to meet. I think he's dope, all this stuff. It says you have a fat ass and says that will draw 99% of the men at first. And that's true.
You got a fat ass and I got money. So
and that's very, very true. I have my own real hair. I get it. Like, you know what I mean? You were just talking about just being natural, and I am natural and I'm intelligent and I'm all those things. So again, I put out what I wanted to attract, and I so happened to get those things, is what I'm saying. So if there was a man that, let's say he didn't have the financial means that I'm comfortable with, right? And he had all those other great, amazing qualities. If I was able to see those things and I didn't know that he wasn't financially stable at the moment, you know, I'm not going to dismiss him. We would have to figure some things out, but you know, I would have never dismissed him. If a friend of a friend had introduced us, absolutely. To be honest, if it was like a stranger and I didn't know, probably not. I'm being real. So yeah.
I mean,
but again, I just move differently. I move differently.
I think to summarize, I think what Steph says is that that you have tools that a lot of women don't have. That you have in your toolbox. I think what they're saying is in your toolbox, you have tools that a lot of women may not have. So
in what way?
It makes it easier. I mean, you know, you're a very attractive woman.
Thank you.
And you have the personality go with it. So, you know, so I mean, it's not just because there's women who are extremely beautiful but they don't have the swagger to go with it too, because that's a big part of it.
And that's true.
Because I've known guys and women who are not the most beautiful people in the world. I'm being nice, and they have the swagger though.
The personality.
Like I knew this guy. I was just talking about him earlier. He was actually the younger brother of a girl I was dating. And this dude was like 5'7", chubby. Have you ever seen an adult with his baby teeth still?
Oh my gosh.
He had his baby teeth. I am not joking. This dude was not, but he pulled bad chicks like crazy, man. And his hygiene wasn't that the greatest. I'm being nice. And but I don't know what it was, man. I didn't know if it was voodoo or what, man. He was pulling women like that, like bad ones was fighting over him. So, you know, but because he was Mr. Personality, as I call him. Mr. Personality.
Personality sticks out, man.
Yeah. And so, and I've seen women we talk about Atlanta a lot. I've seen women, not the best looking women who, you know, because there's a lot of very attractive women there. But they'll have like 8 guys fighting over them in a city where beautiful women are struggling to get a date, you know, and it's just, they have this swagger about them. The way they carry themselves, the way that they move, people are just naturally attracted to it. I mean, some people just have that shit, you know. Think about some of your favorite entertainers who are goofy looking, you know, but they have that.
I think there are a lot of people that definitely, I agree with that. I think there are a lot of people that have like sex appeal and that are not sexy, you know what I mean, that have the ability to lure people in also with their personality and just the way they carry themselves, the way they move. Just like if you were in a club and, you know, like all the men are crowded around and gathered around a female who's just like you said, just not that attractive. And there are so many beautiful women around, and she's just, because she's like, she has her own insecurities and she's not able to jump on it and like allow it to just be, where you have someone who may not necessarily be that attractive and who's really just like, she's owning it. She's owning whatever it is that she has and she's letting it work for her. And that's what men will be attracted to. They're like, oh, look, she's confident. She's wearing that shit like no other. And I think that's where that comes from.
Looking like a bag of onions, but she's doing it.
Hell yeah.
You know, have you heard of a girl? I call it ugly fine.
Okay.
Where she's not attractive, but you're attracted to her. I don't know. Have you ever had that, Keenan?
Yeah.
Where she ugly fine.
Yeah, definitely.
Where
she's ugly fine. That's what I'm saying. That personality is, she's cool. She's down to earth. We can laugh. We can joke. You know what I mean? She got like, she common interests, like just connects. Like, wow, where the hell you been at? But no, I'm not like really attracted to you to take you down. I don't want to take you down. But, you know what I mean?
Wait, so why wouldn't she take her down? If you
Because
wouldn't
I'm not attractive to you.
no, but
That's what I'm
aren't you
saying.
attracted to her personality? Aren't you attracted to her
Yeah,
personality? So her personality wouldn't be enough for you then?
I'm not just saying that.
Wait, no, I'm asking you a question.
I'm trying to get to it.
Oh, you trying to get to it.
He said that's a negative.
No, because you giving people your sexual energy. That's a lot. You know what I mean?
Is in the building.
When you give people your sexual energy, you know they get attached, man. You know.
All right, so all right, let's talk about. I call the guy Mr. Personality. You know, someone who gets everything in life based on just the way that they move, their swagger, or it could be Miss Personality. What are some traits, Jada, that you think make up this kind of person? You know, we kind of talked about it. What are some things that the average guy or girl may not realize, but this person, because we've all, like we just said, we've all seen guys who you're like, how's he pulling these chicks? What kind of smoke and mirrors is this nigga using?
Right.
Or you know, we see women that kind of do the same thing. Like, what are some hidden traits that we may not be picking up on that people have that they use to their advantage? Jada.
That's good. I think highlighting just highlighting their pros, like things that they're good at. I think someone who is like, if there's a male who's nasty at writing, you know, like poetry or singing, I think that's how he's able to showcase, like, you know, certain talents and things that he's extremely good at. I feel like I would be singing all the time. I would be like, can I get a hamburger? Like, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, or can I take you out on a date? Like, whatever. Like, if I was a man and, you know, like certain things like that, I feel like she'll be like, oh, like, look at him trying to charm me. Like, you know, like she'll think that's cute. Like, you know, most, you know, and or some women will be like, he playing around. You know, I think just highlighting on whatever it is and your talents and whatever it is that you're great at. I think most women find that, because then you are opening up and you know, you're letting them in a little bit and they're like, oh, okay. Like I didn't realize, like, you know, he was about that. Because even we were talking, I know when Free was on my show last week, and I remember him telling me that like he sings. So I remember just being like, oh, from appearances, he doesn't look like, you know, a typical singer. He would look like a rapper more than a singer. So what I'm saying is, like, you know, somebody that didn't know that, she'll be like, oh, I didn't even know that about him. And that could literally lure someone in.
Yeah.
Oh, and he raps too. Well, he does look like a rapper.
Every rapper sings nowadays, and vice versa, right?
You know,
Look like Shabba and sound like Chris Brown.
But yeah, so I think highlighting on whatever it is that you're great at, I think most people would find that attractive, in my opinion. To me, I think just showcasing your talents and, you know, things that you're great at. I think most people don't. I think because at times people are so insecure about a lot of things, I think people tend to shy away from that, and they don't want to be vulnerable and put themselves out there in that sense, because it's literally you're opening yourself up, and it's like you're opening yourself up to criticism, and you're opening yourself up to that rejection, just in case, you know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, shot down. So yeah, I think that's mine.
It's a couple of talents.
That's a good breakdown, Jada.
Yeah, this is a great breakdown. It's a great break. Now, I have a question for you, Shannon. What's some things that guys think are charming, but it's actually a low-key turnoff?
What?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Shannon. I know you got a list over there.
There's guys that think they're being charming, but they're like, you're like, no, dude, that's whack. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I hate the roundabout compliments. Like when people compliment me in general terms, but what they're really saying is that they think that about me. It's like, don't do that.
Really? What's the something? Give me one that you hear that you hate.
Everybody must be checking for you, or everybody must be hollering at you because you're so beautiful. Well, does that mean that you like me? because that's dumb. And no, everybody's not checking for me because that's a gross assumption. Everybody is. Half of those people are married, and half of those people are gay, and half of those people are not in this city. So please stop it.
Okay.
Wow.
Dang, wait, but I don't think a guy would just walk up to you and say that, would he?
Oh, my math is legit.
It sounds like you
What you say?
telling the truth.
Oh, when Steph says I hate when men text me a compliment after the date.
It's like, why couldn't you say it on the date? Listen, it's been so long since I've been on a date. I don't even know what a compliment is anymore.
You look great in that dress. LOL.
You could have said that the first time you seen her. You know what I mean?
Right.
You gotta wait till you get home.
That is dumb, right?
I got one for you though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how do y'all feel about being introduced from a mutual friend? You think I think Jada was talking about that, being introduced by a friend to date somebody else. Did that give you a better comfortability?
That happened.
It
didn't go anywhere though.
Yeah.
I though.
I'm just saying from in general for everybody watching too, but is that more of a comfortable introduction, or how you feel like it can be?
Absolutely.
That, especially since that person is genuinely probably a stranger to me. So if someone is giving me the green light and saying, "Hey, this guy or this girl is attractive and you should consider dating them, and this is why," I am more apt to listen to that information opposed to somebody on the street and they be like, "Yo, so can I get your number?" And I'll be like, "Low key, I'm about to be cut up."
Exactly.
I'm good. It's not my year to die. Thanks, guy. Bye.
Yeah. No, you trust your friends, right, Shannon? So I feel like they're not going to set you up with somebody who they don't think that you're necessarily compatible with or who's good for you. So it says my mama hooked me up with a dude.
And I don't get picked for married at first.
Hey, man.
So I gotta.
I got a bone to pick with you with that one.
I was trying to get on Married at First Sight when it first came out, and they clearly didn't like my application. So I'll take my.
Hold on.
I got a bone to pick with Steph with that one. Okay, so she said, I'm gonna read it again.
About
for
her
those.
mama?
Yeah,
my
mama ain't right.
You paid for my dude. Wait, she said my mama hooked me up with a dude who paid for my dinner with quarters. Okay.
What?
All right. You that's ungrateful. This dude emptied out his whole piggy bank to go on a date with you.
No, thank you.
Did he have it in a roll?
He could save that for laundry or something. No.
Raquel, what's up, Raquel? He went through his and
she counted the chains on the table like.
I think that is so.
That's $5 right there. Hold on, sorry. Can you count this? Can you count these chains?
That's what I want.
Like that. Wait, hold on. Let me start again.
Yeah, I
gotta go to the car real quick. I think I have some chains in my cup holder. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. Hey man, the struggle was real.
The struggle is real. It is real. Absolutely.
She should never went on that date. I'm sorry. He should have just stayed home.
We had Outback. We had Steakhouse. You know.
Hey man, he cracked it open.
He needed to find out who was the one.
They were in a Crown Royal bag. That's hilarious.
The Crown Royal bag.
It was green. That was real soon. So what color was that Crown Royal bag?
What flavor was the crown? Oh my gosh, I can't.
Look, I fucking
that purple one. He had that for a minute. It was purple.
No, it was green.
I mean, wait, the real question is, did you go out with him again?
Oh, I know that. Good.
Hold on, let me stop at the corn star real quick.
Right. No, he was like, forget the coin star. They take a percentage. I need all of this money.
Right. Let me get this tip out for you too. 1, 2, 3.
Oh man. She said she does not like passive dudes. Wait, y'all.
Y'all didn't know I'm looking like a bag of onions.
Royal bag, hilarious.
Raquel.
Hilarious.
Everything.
Yes. Okay, she said she doesn't like passive guys.
I don't.
Okay, so let's define what passive guy is. Then let's Shannon, I'll let you do it, and then we'll get into the pros. Well, the pros or cons of passive guys?
For me, I just would rather you assert yourself. If you are attracted to me or you would like to pursue something with me, say that. Don't take this roundabout detour to Alaska to come back to Timbuktu to go to China to then finally tell me, hey, you want to date me? And I'm like, yo, my guy, why are we doing this? I done dated like your uncle and your dad already. There with you, you should have been done said something. I just can't do passive. And I mean, I'm more aggressive and assertive than not. So I don't have a problem shooting my shot. That's not hard for me. But I'm kind of over that too. It's like real old. Like, and take initiative. Like, I don't want to have to do everything. In the days that
what you want to eat? I don't know, whatever you want to eat.
Make up your mind.
Like, real, like, dude, listen, you will starve because I'm about to go get them tacos and mind my business. I don't have time for that. So, yeah, I just say what you mean and mean what you say and act on it. Like I said before, if you interested in me, you attracted to me, you want to pursue me, you better come for me.
That's right. We are the hunters. You know.
Word.
What about you, Kente? Do you ever see a passive aggressive, like a passive aggressive, not just passive, but passive aggressive woman, you know, get at you?
Passive aggressive, yes. I don't know because see, I don't judge women like that. You know, the whole passive thing. Passive aggressive though, that's something totally different.
It is something totally
that different. Is annoying. That is one of the most annoying traits on anybody. Is passive aggressive. Yes, I fucking hate it. You know, like that makes me.
Can you give us an example when it happened to you? Like, what you wanna? Can you elaborate on it a little bit?
Like, so it's like, okay, I did something to make you upset or whatever, right? So instead of just saying, look, I'm not, you know, hey, I didn't like what you did or whatever. And they do this thing where they're like, oh no, it's fine. But then they start doing little shit that is really, it's not. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, they do that little punk shit. You know, I like dudes do it a lot too, which is annoying, you know, and it's annoying in a different way because it's not a romantic situation.
Yeah.
So, you know, you ain't going home to that cat, but unless you know you play a different kind of sport than me and you play. But as far as women do it in the space of a relationship, that's some straight up devil shit. I don't like that. So, and I know you started to come in and say something about passive men, Marisol.
I am passive aggressive. It is what it is. I will be like, oh, okay, yeah, all right, no problem. And then I will throw subliminals, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Instagram. I will throw subliminals so you know that I am upset and that it is not okay what you are doing. It just is what it is. Because I've had many people call me out on it before and be like, yo, what's good with you? You all right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And they're like, you sure? Because your posts are showing that you are not okay. It just is what it is. Sometimes I lack the confidence to be like, no, fuck you. You are doing me wrong right now. It hurt me. And this is how I get around that. It just is what it is. It doesn't make me petty patty. It doesn't make me.
Some girls just want to make you figure it out, though. Like, can't you tell what's wrong with me? Can't you tell?
It does not, Trey. And no, all right. So maybe some girls do, but that's just not me. My thing is, I really do lack a lot of confidence. So for me to do it this way, it's like me voicing myself confidently because I can hide behind a screen. I can be myself behind a screen. And I've always been this way. I can be more myself when I don't have to face the person and actually see the person and speak to the person. And I can feel okay to feel whatever it is I'm feeling and express myself about it.
See, that's my problem sometimes. Like I was talking to Danny Redwine and stuff, and I was explaining sometimes I can be brutally honest, and that's just the type of person I am, because I was shy as a kid, but I kind of broke that. And, you know, being brutally honest, it has some heartaches and you know, some repercussions that comes along with it. You know what I mean? Telling people how you actually feel at the time when you feel it, you know, it could be truthful and relevant to the conversation, but sometimes people just don't need to hear everything you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
not
you can
for everything when it comes to your feelings. Sometimes you have to take, I think it's better to take accountability for your feelings. Like, I feel this way when this happens, opposed to I hate how you made me feel. Because your feelings are yours and you have to own them. And I think it's how you put it out there that makes the difference. I always say I feel this way when this happens, and I never say when that person makes me feel. When this happens, that takes the ownership onto me, but it lets them acknowledge that this situation is what is causing me to feel this way. And then
But I ain't gonna just say you a bitch and you like.
No, I'm not gonna do no.
So what I'm a bitch about? Like what I'm a bitch about?
Yeah, no, we're not.
And then you know, you gonna wait. You want to wait till 2 weeks later for me to tell you what you was a bitch about 2 weeks later? Like no,
I'm definitely not doing that, Keenan. Like I don't call names in a conversation. We gonna have a conversation and talk about it and get everything out that we need to get out. But I'm not. And if you need to pause it and come back to it later, that's fine. Because sometimes you don't want to talk right then and there, and that's okay. But I'm not gonna call you names just to get my point across. I still see you as a king. You a king that pissed me off, but it is what it is, and I will acknowledge that, owning my own feelings, and move on from it. At the end of the day, life is too short, and I'm not gonna go to bed mad at you just because I couldn't control my feelings. Now I will tell you how you acted out, but that is your decision. If you choose to acknowledge it and correct it, great. If not, we're gonna have to look at other options.
Nice topic.
No, it's a great topic. I don't know it is hard in the space of a relationship to be brutally honest, because a lot of times, you know, you don't want to hurt the person's feelings. You may not want to break up with them, but they just mad at them right now, and you want to express that. And I don't know. I think a lot of times in a lot of relationships, there's inequity as far as it's not, the love ain't equally yoked a lot of times. So it's sometimes the guy really likes the girl, but the girl is just like whatever, lukewarm, or the girl really likes the guy. And so usually when that happens, there's one person that has like a totally take it or leave it type thing. Oh, you're not doing what I want? I'm up out of there, you know? And so sometimes people walk on eggshells because they don't want to lose you.
Yeah.
Because they really be digging you, and that other person just wears that advantage out that they have in a relationship.
Exactly.
You know, so I don't know how do you even realize, like, do most people, when there is an inequity in the relationship, do they even realize it? Like, do they even realize that, you know what, I love her way more than she loves me, or I love him more? Do you think most people realize it? Or is that from the outside? Huh?
I think there are a lot of situations where that is the case, where someone loves somebody more so. But I also think that people love differently. That is what people tend to compare. Well, how I love is not the same as how you love. It doesn't mean that yours is now. There are some drastic cases where someone is loving someone more than, and that's a series of deficits instead of deposits. But I think that people have to be willing to have those conversations about what they're looking for in that relationship and how they want to be loved. Because
it's that unconditional love. It's like if like one person have unconditional love and the other person.
It just has to be genuine. It has to be. I mean, because it's not always going to be equal in terms of, oh, well, you don't love me the way I love you. I love you more than you love me. Like, this is not a tit for tat relationship. Like, I'm loving you from my overflow. And I'm loving you in the way that you want to be loved. I want to speak your language. So what your love language looks like may be different than mine. I may like acts of service, and you might like physical touch. So they're going to look different. But do you feel that person loving you through that? And if that's what you feel, then roll with it. Don't be saying, "Oh, well, you don't love me the way." Of course they don't. two different people. So it's
You
not
gotta
going
be compatible to the highest extent in order
that
to
part.
get that close. Like compatibility allows individuals to blend on a natural, spiritual, physical level, like by nature. You know what I mean? You gotta just let that shit flow.
Kanan, that's where it's at. Compatibility is everything. Like I have just cut people off and be like, oh my gosh, you didn't give no explanation. I don't need to give no explanation for our incompatibility. You knew we was not compatible from jump. What I'm gonna talk about, how we gonna change it? Because we just change it. I stopped talking to you. How about that? Like we aren't compatible. It's okay to go our separate ways. But that's what you're looking for. If you're looking for something to last, you're looking for somebody you can be compatible with, someone that you can do life with, someone that complements your ebb and your flow. And if that's not there, it's okay to take the high road and say we aren't compatible to do life together. Have a nice life.
I
Brooklyn
wanted to
said,
ask this question too, Kente, when you're done.
Brooklyn said something on the show, and he said that women don't, and nobody really gave it any pushback. So I just want to I probably should have done it when he brought it up on the show. He said women don't want to date a guy that feel like he hit the lottery when he got you, that he like, you know, because she feels like she didn't. What did she win? She didn't win anything or something to that. You remember when he said that? He said something like, she don't want to be with a man who feels like he's lucky to be with her or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say something. I'm tired. So a lot of times when he talks, no joke, like I hear him, but I don't necessarily hear him because sometimes talks too much. But he has good points. Right?
Do you agree with that?
So no woman wants a man who doesn't feel like he won the lottery?
No, that he said he doesn't. Women don't want a man who feels like he's lucky to be with her.
Lucky?
That he, yeah, like, you know, like some guys be like, man, I can't believe
I got you, girl.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? I came
right.
I want a man like that.
I don't know. I think that's
while you sleeping, he's like looking at you like, damn, she looks so cute. Sleep with the drool coming out of her mouth, you know, that kind of thing.
I want a man.
Women want to feel valued and cherished. So it's natural that a woman would feel that way. I mean, who doesn't want to feel like he's special? I mean, I don't necessarily want him.
Ain't that kind of on the same
twilight? But yeah, I definitely
don't. That kind of still falls into the too nice category. Like, nigga, you like acting unbelievable at every moment, nigga. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we had sex. Oh, girl, you the most. What? It's like, okay, you kind of putting extras on it, huh?
Drake.
Yeah, I was gonna say, go ahead, Kente.
Yeah, he says if a man feels like that when he got you, would that make you feel like he sees you as a worthy woman?
That he feels because he feels lucky?
Yeah, I mean, like he's so happy that he's got this in his mind, a wonderful woman.
I mean, I guess. Go ahead.
That's just a weak. I think women look at you as a weak nigga if you keep doing that shit, though. I mean, it's fun.
I don't think so.
I think it's
and I don't think.
Go ahead.
I don't think so, and I don't think it makes it would make me feel like he sees me as a worthy woman. I think it would make me feel as if he really does cherish the woman that I am, and he understands that I have values and I'm bringing things to the table that he appreciates and he wants and he's seeking. Not that necessarily that it makes me worthy as a woman, but it makes me that much more in his eyes.
It's like Steph was saying. Yeah, this is exactly how I feel.
But I mean, don't you want to feel like that though, Keenan?
Like a girl, like it's like she won the lottery for being with me.
No. I mean, going. Don't you want to feel like, man? I got me a great woman. She's awesome. You know, I really knocked this one up.
Yeah, because I'm definitely gonna stay loyal. It's like I ain't even thinking about no other ass right now. Look, I'm holding your hand, and I ain't even gonna turn around and look at that girl ass. I'm loving you. Like, fuck that. I ain't even gonna turn around, girl.
Girl, boy, we can look at that girl's ass together, and you can still
you gonna give me that pass. You gonna give me that pass? Look at that ass and shit. We gonna do that. But no, I'm just saying.
The way.
I mean, like Steph said though. She said she don't see it as weak. She see it as annoying. And you know that's what the points where I was trying to get to. It can get annoying at times. Like, sheesh. Like, you know what I mean? It's a good thing, but it can get annoying. I feel like me personally.
Okay, so what's the line though? He said get some balls. I mean, I don't know, man. So he got to be like Michael Myers though. He got to be like, you know, all the time. Like, oh yeah, that's a nice red dress.
He's just going out like Eddie Murphy. I'm in love.
Right.
Everybody, I'm in love. Shut your ass up, nigga. Yeah.
Like, what's the line though between, you know, showing it? I mean, is he supposed to not act like, if he feels that inside, he's not supposed to say it or show it? Like, I really want to know, like, what is it?
It has some kind of control, man.
I mean, you gotta know the person that you engage in. Like,
Yeah.
what they like and what makes them tick and understand where they are. I mean, not saying that you know the barometer of their self-worth and their self-esteem, but you should gauge how they receive. Some people don't know how to take compliments, and some people don't know how to give them either. And so at the end of the day, communication styles are important, but effective communication is even better. So if you guys can get on that same wavelength, which is why compatibility is important. I
love when the ladies praise the motherfucker, like, yeah, my man is this, my man is that. I love my man. I take care of my man. You know what I mean?
But
you love that shit.
But again, that's the difference between listening to the masses of people and listening to a single person. If a single person is blessed to have somebody in their life and they don't mind sharing that with that person both verbally and in their actions, and the other person is receptive, then roll with it. If other people don't like it, hell, they ain't gotta like it. Half these mofos are single anyway, minding their own business, being bitter as hell, talking all that craziness. So it's all good.
And people don't believe it's real until they get it. So motherfuckers is like unbelievable that they got it. So
and I heard that. Speak it out loud.
Scream it from the rooftops.
I receive that. There's nothing wrong with that. You dig them and you blessed to have them in your life. Look, I'm trying to be somebody's blessing, somebody's good thing, and I sure want to help that.
That's what I was my other question too earlier when I was gonna ask, like, you said say this one for the show, Kente. So you in this relationship, you know what I mean, y'all going good for a while. How, like, when is that moment in that relationship? For a long time, everything's good. Everything good now. Where you want to start talking about marriage and with having kids and what type of parent you're gonna be, and can that fuck up the relationship? Talking about those goals, or how do y'all feel about that?
What you say, Keenan? I'm sorry.
Relationship expectations. Yeah. Reiterate the question for me, man.
So at what point in a relationship, when things are going well, or maybe before that, should you start having conversations about the future, like kids, you know, what are we doing in this relationship, where are we heading to, and all that kind of stuff?
I think it depends on what the two people's intentions are. I mean, some people will say I'm just looking for somebody to kick it with, and some people are saying I'm dating with purpose. But what does that mean? What does that look like? It depends on who you're engaging. Not everybody is here to get married. So you kind of want to ask those questions. You know, what are you looking for? What are your expectations?
I'm saying, so you've been with a person, I'm saying, for 5 years, and you just gonna be still kicking it.
I told you the last time when you gave these years or something, and y'all just kicking it. Y'all ain't in no marriage or nothing. That's whack.
Yeah, I don't want. That's neutral. That's like you not moving forward. You're not moving backwards. Y'all just like you ain't moving at all.
Yo,
Like, so why would I be wasting 5 years
yeah,
or 2 years or 1 year or
you
however long?
yeah. And if you haven't figured out what I am in your life, then we gonna part and go our
Me, I gotta figure out what you is in my life. We gotta figure out what we are in each other's life. Like,
But what
do
I'm
you even want kids?
what
What
I'm
kind of parent are you gonna be?
I get that, but if that's gonna take you 5 years to figure all them little questions out, I got some big problems. Like you took 5 years
Nah.
to figure out that you don't want kids, and we still doing this? No, we not doing this, bro. Please go grocery shopping with somebody else. I'm not the one. Like 5 years of girlfriend.
Then it gets so personal when it comes to these questions.
Because
Like,
that's been so many years, and you be asking, like you said, 10 years the last time.
You can't see yourself in a relationship for 5 years without being married or without having kids. You can't just be in a relationship for over a year without having those expectations.
Celibate with me for 5 years?
I mean, you never know. It might turn a year could turn to 5 real quick.
Nah, I don't need no pen pals. I'm good. I'm not doing 5 years with nobody. We just friends.
So I think.
So
wait. So Keenan, right? I think when you are that, and most men tend to do this, they become extremely complacent. Like after a while, like we have to definitely figure out what we're doing and where we're heading, because it's all about growth. Right. So we're not staying stagnant. We're not going to just be playing house. We're not going to be just shacking up. There has to be like, we're making moves. Are we going to do this for the long haul? Like what's going on? This is our third year of dealing with.
Wasn't that my question?
As far as what? Like, because you were asking
when
Shannon,
are we talking about this? When are we talking about the future like that? Like,
not
how long
exactly.
does it take?
So if one party says, hey, I would like to get married within the next 2 years, and you guys have been dating for 3 years, and you say, maybe we should date another 2 more years, and then we'll think about it, and we'll relive that down the line. That's a problem. You guys are not on the same page. So it's like, that's not going to work. If we're on 2 different paths at that point, and we're both making it vocal what each other wants. Like, this is what I want, you're telling me what you want, and it doesn't match. That's a problem. So we shouldn't be together at that point. You know what I mean? Because at that time, like, we're wasting each other's time. And again, like, men tend to end up being complacent. They get very comfortable very easily, depending on how a woman allows for him to be, how comfortable she allows him to be. He'll stay there, and he'll be very comfortable.
I'm saying from both sides, though. Like,
what you saying? Both sides.
Don't just pour this on me. Like,
I'm not pouring it on you. You're
pointing
the
a finger at you. You know what I mean?
Wait,
so
what?
it can. I said, don't just act like I'm pointing the finger at you. I'm just saying it can be we be in a good relationship for a year, but at the same time, when we start bringing up this stuff, maybe you say something that I won't like about marriage. Maybe you say something I don't like about kids. Maybe it's vice versa.
And that's why we're all mature. And we're able to vocally express that. We should be able to effectively communicate with each other without it being an issue. If you have an issue about marriage, then that's something that we need to discuss. Did something happen between you and your parents as a child? Did they get a married? Is that something that as a child, I feel like within that first year, we would have those conversations anyway. So I would get to know a little bit more about you and your past and your history.
That was my question.
Well, I think that's all about communication.
Within the first year, that was the answer. Thank you.
There we go.
I said that already. I started off with 6 to 12 months.
You said I ain't going in no 5 years. What you talking about 5 years?
To me, that's the first thing I said. Roll that tape back, my guy. I said 6 to 12 months, because that's my statement every time you be doing this 12 years of slave stuff. Ain't nobody giving
not 12 years of slave.
Oh Lord.
Okay, I have another good one that about, okay, so this person is not your wife, right? You have a guy that basically takes care of you, right?
In what way?
He pays your bills. He pays your bills. He pays your apartment your car note, all your bills, you know.
Where he at though?
How much responsibility would you have to a guy who is basically taking care of you? Now y'all not like
We're in
on
a
the
situationship.
yeah, you're not on the track to get married. Let's just say that.
Wait,
But
are
he-
we dating? Like, are we in a relationship, or we're just
No, y'all
dealing-
have fun. You know, he comes through the place that he pays for, and y'all
Oh, okay.
do what y'all do, what grown folks may do. How much responsibility? I mean, does she owe him? What does she owe him?
You
Basically,
don't owe him nothing.
I think, yeah,
Do that.
I think
That's on him.
exactly. I think it depends on their arrangement. I think if he doesn't want to do anything, she doesn't have to. There's nothing that says that. She doesn't have to feel obligated because he's like, let's say he does like taking care. Let's say she's not the only female he's taking, care of. Let's say he's just somebody who literally likes to be generous. There are men who like to be in a company of.
Oh my God.
Okay. Right. So like I was saying, there are men who like to take care of women, whether they're in sexual favors or not. Right. What I'm saying is she doesn't have to feel obligated unless they had an agreement prior, then that's different.
Mm-hmm.
But if not, and he just kept giving her and he was like, look, I just want to take care of you. I know that you're trying to accomplish X, Y, and Z, and I see the potential in you and I want to help you get there. Look, I got you on your rent, on your car note, everything else, whatever. You have to figure it out, whatever. But I just want to take care of the major things because I know I see the greatness in you and the potential, and I just want to help you get there. What's up? Like, what's wrong with a sponsor? Like,
see,
okay,
a nigga's a sponsor. You just said it right there.
All right, but what I'm saying is, what's wrong with it?
He's a sponsor.
He's not.
That's how you look.
Kente just asked the question. So
I'm saying, I'm answering this.
What are you saying? I feel like you're saying a bunch of nothing, right? So my whole thing is, Kente asks, does a female does she feel obligated? And my answer, no, depending on the situation and the agreement upon that.
Oh, there's a lot of men.
So you're gonna label him a sponsor.
I mean, that's what he is. He's sponsoring her, right, in order to make sure she's good up until whenever he doesn't want to anymore.
And she don't have to bring nothing to the table.
As far as what? He asked if we would have to be obligated. As far as what? Like, unless there's an agreement beforehand, then that's different, right? As far as she's responsible, whatever, she's responsible
I think
for
that's
herself.
the problem with a lot of black relationships. I think a lot of black women feel like pussy and mouth is a payment to some kind of degree.
Like,
in this scenario we're talking about,
That's the sponsor.
To the sponsor.
Okay.
Danny's like, what did I walk into?
Look, I'm about
If
to
he
walk
said
out.
that way,
That's what I'm about to do.
I love it too. You're like, F him. He didn't say, hey, in the contract, he didn't say I had
exactly.
to do anything.
That part.
So what's the
I'm
problem?
just saying, this brings something more than just letting this man pay for your shit. Like, damn, what are you doing?
Like, if
What
they
are
want to
you
hang
doing?
out or something, then that's different. Like, I don't understand. What's the problem? If there's nothing that was agreed upon in advance, I don't see what the problem is. Why would she have to? So let me ask you a question. She's obligated to do? What is she obligated to do?
I ain't say obligated.
Okay, so what are you saying then? Because you're saying much of nothing.
Like
you need to say it.
As a woman, you feel like you don't have to do. You don't feel like you should give anything back to this man?
Like what? Give me an example. Give me an example.
Besides pussy and mouth. Like, is there anything else you can offer to a relationship?
What are you talking about? So obviously, right? So he does. So let's say him and I've never had sex, right? And he's doing these things.
Lord.
No. Like, let's say we've never had sex because can't take into it because I didn't even say anything about sex, right?
Never had
Let's
sex.
say that we can't talk over each other because we won't be able to understand each other, love. Yeah, right. So if let's say we've never had sex. obviously there was some type of relationship with us where he knows me and he knows like whoever female he's dealing with enough to be like, oh, she's creative, she's intelligent, she's articulate, all these other great qualities than just her physical, being that she's just a female and she has a pussy and mouth and holes, whatever, that he could put his dick in. So if let's say that sex was not even on the fucking table, right?
Did I say that though? Why are you trying to
You
make it
just
seem
said-
like
what are you did he not just say besides pussy and mouth? Did he not just say that? Yes or no?
why are you
Or
trying
am
to
I
make it
bugging?
seem like I'm making it sexist though? Like
I'm not
sexism
saying
of
what are you
women.
talking? I think okay. So just listen to what I'm saying and not assume things, right? Because you literally just said, would you not have to think of doing anything else or bring anything else to the table besides?
Okay,
pussy
you
and
you
mouth?
articulate. You articulate. What else?
So
I don't see no value in why this dude is doing this for you. I don't see
No,
no
but that's,
value
that's
in
not
why.
you though, because you're probably you don't have the
I'm not
means,
a,
you don't have the
I'm
you don't
not
have
a
the funds to
simp.
do
I'm
that.
not a trick.
So if somebody else has it, whatever, and they're willing to do it, why not? What are you talking
I
about?
said, why not? God damn.
okay, let me say this. If he's a fool if he don't specify what he wants right out
There
of
we
it.
go.
But I'll say this. I mean, I've never been that dude, right? I've never had the funds like that to do all that. But let's just say in an alternate universe, I had funds like that and I was doing some shit like that. It's gonna be definitely some rules to this shit of what's going on, because I think that's just foolish to just do it without expecting some kind of expectation of something coming back to you. I just think, and I know too many cats that do that.
But that's
That
the
just
choice, right?
Exactly.
but a lot of times it's foolish. Like some guys,
So you keep saying like it's your choice though. That's what he wanted to do. He just wanted to pay
But
all my
it
bills.
is. He's grown. Most
Wait,
of the time, he's younger.
God.
But don't get it twisted. It's not like anybody is doing that for me. But what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, everybody has the right to choose what they want to do with their own money.
Exactly.
Coming out of his
no, you're right. You're 100% right.
and it's
I
not
agree.
rich. So I don't know why we get invested in these what if questions as if we don't want actually tricking off for somebody. Because if you're not doing it, why is it a big deal? Like it don't matter. It's nothing to do with you.
And drop the mic,
It's a
Shannon.
show. It's a show. We gotta talk about
That's
stuff.
not what I'm saying. I'm saying why are you so mentally invested in it as if you're the one that's actually tricking off the money?
Facts,
Clearly
Shannon.
not doing it.
Facts.
See,
Okay,
you
it's
talking
like
about mentally invested, but this dude is financially invested. Like
if you
Why
see
is
a
that?
cat, if you see a cat in the tree, you might want to get the cat out the tree. So it's not your cat,
Had the tree.
but you might want to, climb up in the tree and get
go
the
to
cat. Not me.
sugardaddies.com or something.
I don't give a
way.
shit.
That's the only way
Look,
you're gonna
I was
find
like,
that
I'm not
motherfucker.
climbing up in the tree. First of all, my knees is bad, so that I have to find out how to come up on its own. Because I'm not gonna be.
Man, I've been saying, I said it when was it last week? There's like so many dudes willing to there's so many dudes willing to trick off their money to women. I mean, every woman can have
It's true.
every woman can have a sponsor,
I
basically.
don't want that.
So
I'm just saying if
whose
that's
fault
what
is that
you
though,
want.
Kente?
But
When
if
you
he
say
want
that
to,
there's so
though.
many men that do that. So who's to like blame, or whose fault is that? If a man is sitting there and saying, I don't have a problem spending these thousands of dollars on you, and there's nothing, and they've never said anything as far as they wanted
That's
something in
called a
return.
sugar daddy. That's called a sugar daddy.
Yeah,
Okay.
but so many words. Yeah, absolutely.
My-
But that's not what I asked. I was talking to Kente, Keenan, right?
No, I mean, to
He's
be
gonna
honest,
say the same thing.
Oh no, you're not in his brain. You don't know what he's gonna say, right? He has a mouth. He can speak for himself.
I can understand a young woman who's trying to get by, and they find a numbnut that's willing to trick off his money to them. I can understand why she would make the decision to do that, right? So it's really his dumbass fault. But
Thank you.
But I say this though, and this
Thank you for what?
It's my next thing though. It's my next thing is is it right for a woman to take money from a dude she don't really like that? But you know that he
No, it's not right, nigga. Yeah.
because that can go so far left, you know, because sometimes they be thinking like, oh man, Jada, you know, if I just, you know, pay her whatever, Jada's gonna feel this way, and you know you don't like him. I'm not saying you would do that, but I'm just using you as an example because you were the only lady in the chat. But you know, taking money from a dude that you really know that he don't like you like that. I mean, I'm sorry, you don't like him like that. You know,
No, I think that in a sense, absolutely. I think that's wrong. And again, I think going into it knowing that, absolutely, you know this person has a crush on you and they're feeling you, and this is why they're doing these things. No, I wouldn't feel right. You know, me personally, I don't think it's right for a female to do that if that's the case. At the same time, if she wants to do whatever she wants to do because he's doing whatever he wants to do, so be it. We're all
You said he was like,
we are all
see some
responsible for
talented
our
in her.
own actions, and you have to reap the repercussions of those things. So yeah.
So yeah, the game is to be sold, not to be told, nigga. So basically,
if I may,
go ahead, Dre.
There's something that's not being talked about, and I think that if we talk about this first, then everything else that we talk about this topic will sort of be, you know, understood properly on both sides, and that's the definition of the type of relationship they're going to have in the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So
that ain't no relationship. That ain't no relationship.
Let me finish. Every kind of interaction with people is some
a relationship.
So I'm not talking about just a boyfriend girlfriend relationship. So I'll give you a perfect example, okay? And I'll give it to you from me, from my experience. If you guys don't mind listening to it, a couple of years ago, this is like maybe a little bit after my divorce, right? I had a car, a very beautiful Maxima, a stick shift Maxima in '97. That was like my all-time favorite car. Love that baby. That was a beautiful car. And my ex-wife wound up getting the minivan. What's funny is that I had the kid. She didn't. She just couldn't drive stick, so she wound up getting a minivan in the split. Eventually, my car broke down. I didn't have the money to fix it, and I'm thinking I have the kid, so I need a bigger car. And she got in a situation where she racked up a lot of tickets on the car and could not pay it, and they the sheriff's impounded it and was going to auction it off to pay off all the tickets. It came up to a little bit over $2,000. I didn't have that money, right? A friend of mine, a young lady, beautiful young lady, who we considered dating, but we were different religions, so we just wound up being friends without any kind of, we weren't friends with benefits, never had sex, never kissed. We just was really cool, right? We were able to define that relationship. Okay, we were friends. That was our relationship. Mm-hmm. She calls me up one day because I was a little frustrated about it. Here's this minivan, we're losing it because of irresponsibility, and I can use it. I just don't got the money for it. The next day she calls me up. This is after I like just let out my heart about how frustrated I felt. And she told me, I got you. I'll give you the money for it. Right. And I'm a guy. I'm not accepting any money from any female. But then I had to realize, all right, the type of relationship we have, it may be all right. I'm going to paying her back. But she told me I didn't have to. Right. Now, there wasn't interest in the very beginning. But then we defined a relationship. I said, you know what? This isn't going to work out. We're very different and we're not compatible, but we can remain friends. That definition of the relationship made it okay for me to accept money from her and be able to pay her back when I got the money. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Is defining the relationship, and then finances will clear that up if the relationship is properly defined. So if a guy is in a situation where he enjoys a female's company and they're just friends, right, and he just wants to, hit her off with some dollars every now and then, then if that's the type of relationship they have, fine. But if he's in it and she knows he's in it and he has interest in her and she's accepting that money, then there's a problem. That's why the relationship has to be defined in the very beginning before it gets to the point where money is like being spent on a female, and that's what I'm saying.
And
Right.
that's what I
agree.
said in the beginning. Like, if there's not, and it is about communication, because if there isn't a line kind of drawn in the sand,
Mhm.
then those things can be confusing. And that's what it would,
Yeah.
randomly, like Kente had asked, was like, and that's how he painted the scenario, though, where nothing was really defined in the beginning, where it's just like, if someone's, hitting off of a woman and giving her money, like, what,
Ain't no dude just giving you money for no reason though. Like, why
but
am
that's
I
not
just
true.
why
I
am I
mean,
just
maybe you
giving
don't
you
know that.
money?
Maybe
Why am
you,
I
maybe,
just
maybe it's
like,
you
come
and
on?
people that you don't know, but people do. Men do give money. What are you talking about? They're people.
There's some
Women. I
suckers.
know women. I know women who give money to men. Like, what are you talking about? And they're not fucking the guy. So it's the same shit.
Man, it's not the same. It's not the same. But we're gonna move
Wait,
on
why is it
though.
not the same? Wait,
We're
why
gonna
is it
move
not
on
the same?
though.
Oh,
We're gonna
okay.
move on
Yeah,
to a new topic. Yeah, please.
Yes.
Is arguing a natural part of every relationship? Let's
Oh,
talk
we're
about
not arguing.
arguing.
I'm not arguing with you, sweetheart.
No, I'm not even. That's the question, girl. Why you? Come on, now.
Question.
Focus.
Like-
Focus.
You get the feedback.
Focus. Focus. This is the question to the panel. The question for the whole panel.
Is arguing a natural thing in a relationship? So yeah, I mean, I can't remember too many relationships that we didn't argue, unfortunately.
Right.
How y'all deal with that, man? Let's talk about y'all dealing with the arguments and
have healthy.
There's nothing wrong with arguments, but if you talk over each other at every turn just to prove that your point is right, because it's not necessarily about being right, it's about being respected, being understood, and coming to some compromise. I don't think there's anything wrong with arguments. I think there can be healthy discussions, argument, but you have to understand your communication styles. Because sometimes people just talk over each other just to get their point across, and nothing ever gets resolved that way. And I'm not with that.
I agree. I like that.
We know, Shannon. We know. Trust me. You ain't about out of this shit.
I mean, I'm sorry. It's my juvenile detention background. I don't like drama. I don't like feeling like we have to one up each other verbally to prove that I don't care about being right. What I care about is hearing you out, coming to a conclusion to the matter. And if we can't come to a conclusion, tabling until we can.
Right. Those steps got to be made. We hear both sides, and then we got to come to some kind of conclusion of this shit. You know what I mean? Like, okay, well, you going to get mad or then shit? I don't know what to say. I'm not trying to prove I'm right. I'm just trying to say, look.
No, and nobody's talking about you specifically, but I think a lot of times when people get into arguments, it's a matter of, am I right? And it's not, sometimes you have to understand that in relationships, it's not necessarily about being right.
Mm-hmm. I
think
it's
less about being right in that moment. I want to know that me and my partner got each other's back, and at the end of the day, we have a conversation that makes sense to us, so that nobody feels like they weren't being heard or being honored or being valued in the conversation, because what they feel and what they need to say is just as important as what I feel and what I need to say, and that we can come to that agreement and understanding of one another, because it's important to move forward. If we don't get past that moment, then we're going to be stuck in it, or we're going to always bring it up on the next argument. And I don't want to do that either.
Hell yeah.
I agree. I agree, Shannon.
Then when you say you wanted motherfucking cheese, no, I was playing. But all right, man.
Like,
fuck that shit.
I don't want to have to.
Jada?
Nothing wrong with sex, but I mean, we're going to always be having sex, so it ain't going to necessarily have to be makeup. So.
No, yeah, I agree.
Jada, she married, so I don't want to get personal, but
bless you.
I don't know what kind of arguments is it? Is it big? Is it small? Like, how do you get over it? Being married, like, you in a relationship, you in a marriage. So, is it different now that you're married from the?
Oh, it very much
from the
is.
Times you was dating.
It's very, very different. Being married is very different than just dating. It's drastically different.
How the arguments transpired? Did the arguments change? Like, you was different when you was dating, and then your marriage arguments, did it mean more? Did it hold more weight to certain situations? Can you give us an example?
for me, and my marriage, the way we deal with certain things, we really don't argue like that. Every now and then, when there is a heated discussion, we talk about it. For us, we don't go to bed angry. I will say I've learned a lot more being married within myself and my husband versus while we were dating. For me, I can't have that. I don't like the whole tit for tat. I don't like trying to one up each other, because I think when someone does try to win, I think it's a lose-lose situation. And overall, we lose as a couple versus one trying to one up the other one. So for us, we just sit down, we talk about it. And if there's something that you could still see on either party, like if he could still sense that there's something still heavy even after we discussed it, then we go into depth a little bit more until we resolve it, so that we could then have a rest of the amazing day. Because I don't like to revisit, just like Shannon said, it isn't. You want to be able to fully digest whatever it is issues that you have and just come up with a solution versus harp on the problem, because that doesn't help at all. So just trying to figure out solutions and how we can move on and grow from that point on, whatever it is that we had a heated discussion about, and then grow and continue from there. So for the most part, we really don't go at it. Like if it's something, then we try to understand each other, and if we don't in that moment, we just try to dive deeper until we get
hand claps for Jada right there. Sound like motherfucker Oprah in this motherfucker. Yeah.
We Oprah and Gail, ain't we, Jada?
We own
Black Love. We
sponsor this show.
Y'all
make sure y'all get their own magazine.
Oprah and Gail, best friends.
There we go, Shannon.
Oh, Gail.
Happy Mother's Day. Happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there too. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Mother's Day, yeah.
But I got Ken Tate, man. I got one more, bro.
No, go ahead.
Is your significant other entitled to your social media passwords in a committed relationship? Like how y'all feel about that part?
Why would you need to give? Okay, now don't get me wrong. Let me give my disclaimer, and I usually try to give this, and I haven't done it in a while. I am single, and I don't belong to anyone, and I'm not in a committed relationship. But I also think there's a such thing called trust. So I don't understand. I mean, you can feel free to give your information, but I don't think that you should have to feel obligated in a dating relationship to give your passwords to your significant other. Now, if you would like to share that information in your marriage, because really you have nothing to hide, and if you do, then that becomes the problem. But no, we's not obligated to do
so. You ain't giving this shit to your boyfriend. So I mean, what about you, Jada? You married?
That's what I'm about to say. Boyfriend? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I will say. So Jay had just said, within a marriage. So I feel that I don't have anything to hide. I'm very open. My husband does know. I have several phones, and my husband has all of them. He knows, my thing. Like girl. I don't feel the need.
He got the Facebook. He got the Twitter. He got the Snapchat. He got all that shit.
He doesn't have the password to everything, but if he asks me, but I'm talking about from my phone in general, so he doesn't necessarily need to have those things, because if he wanted to go on my phone,
I ain't saying what I'm saying. Give me your motherfucking give me your password. I'm not saying it like that.
You cannot ask questions and not stop.
I'm just letting her know. I'm not saying it like give me your password.
No, but this
Calm
is
down, Shannon. Relax.
But she's trying to answer it the way she understood it, so let her do that. Dang.
So what I'm saying is my phone has everything. All my phones have all my social media. It's opened on there. So if he ever wanted to go and look at it, what I'm saying is he has the ability to do so, because he doesn't necessarily need the password, because it's all already open in the phone that's locked, but he has the password to the code. So like if he wanted to go, he has the ability to do that. But I don't necessarily feel that you should have to. I mean, again, I don't have anything to hide. I don't think when you're dating and in a relationship, I feel like the trust should be there enough to know like, hey, I don't have to or I shouldn't want to go. I feel like when you go searching for some shit, you're going to find some shit. So I just feel like it should just be like where you trust each other, you respect each other's privacy and
You
boundaries.
tell your man every time you get a dick pic, it's like, just in case you get a dick pic on Snapchat.
Yeah, I mean, I do actually. I do though. I'll tell him like, oh, or somebody sends me something on Snapchat and like, oh, such and such, whatever, was trying to holler, or such and such found out about me being married. They're feeling some type of way, or blah blah blah. I do. I let him know everything. I could call my husband in here right now, and he has no problem being open and honest because he's been on the platform several times. So trust and believe, like I'm all the way open because that's just who I am. I'm extremely transparent, so it doesn't matter for me. Right. Like that's not gonna change or affect our relationship.
What kind of advice would you give to the people, like the people that's watching this shit or listening?
Like I said in the beginning, I feel like there should be trust. I think it depends on both parties. If you guys feel that you guys need each other's passwords, then sure. I think that that's something that has to be discussed. I don't think that it's a must or it's mandatory, in my opinion. But again, everyone is different. I'm open and honest with who I am, and I'm not hiding anything. So for me, it's very easy. Those things are not an issue in our relationship when it comes to things like that, where I'm like, oh my gosh, I wonder who he's texting, or I wonder who he's calling. Those things don't even cross my mind. I'm secure in what we have.
I bet you check out who he's following though. Check that out. I bet you checked out who he's following.
No, I've never checked who the hell got time for that?
That part, Jada.
Baby.
There's a level of confidence.
Yeah. Why do I have to go? I know what I bring to the table. I know I'm confident within myself, and I'm secure within myself and within my marriage. There's no way I'm sitting up here checking who he following.
Well, as soon as she get off this motherfucker, she gonna go check who he following.
No, never. No. You know it's so crazy because I barely.
That nigga brought some good shit up. Hold on. Let me go check who this nigga following.
No, absolutely not. I promise you that. No. No, for them.
No, she's pretty confident.
All these bitches look like a bootleg me, but that's a good thing.
No, I wouldn't even know. Like,
no, I'm playing, man. I'm kidding, man. Come on, man. Y'all getting too serious up in this shit. Damn. Collar. Kente, man. Can I get some?
You're funny, kidding.
Kente, can I get some man energy on this question, though? Like the whole password thing, like from a male point of view.
Why don't you answer it, Keenan?
No, I have no problem answering it.
Man, Kente got this shit. All of that man.
I have no problem answering it. I agree in the fact that while you're dating, no, hell no, I'm not giving you my passwords and stuff because, to be honest with you, that can be used negatively against you because y'all might be cool now. It's not that I got anything to hide. You might be cool now. What if you're not cool in the future? Or you don't know that you're not cool. And she does some foul stuff with it. And sometimes it's, a lot of my emails are business sensitive. So, you know what I'm saying?
Look, Steph,
like I had a girlfriend. I'm gonna tell you something. Y'all gonna laugh at me. Y'all gonna laugh at me. Years ago, I was dating this girl, and this was like the internet. I wasn't like too keen on the internet really, and I had my password was literally 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Right, that was my password. And so the girl I was dating was very insecure, so she actually hacked into my email.
Oh no!
Yeah, and she sent out emails as me to anyone that was a woman in my email, and it said, "Oh, Kente has a girlfriend now." So, I mean, I didn't say Kente, but she said, "I have a girlfriend now, so I won't be contacting you anymore." And it was nice knowing you, or something to that effect. And so I eventually, and I wasn't cheating, right? That wasn't a hack. You gave up your shit. That was whack password. I didn't know it. It was a whack password. I thought, I didn't realize that's the first thing hackers.
That's the first step they tried too. 1 2 3 4.
Right. But that was like a long time ago, right? So I called a friend of mine because it was like her birthday, and I was just like, "Hey, how's it going?" And she was like, "Wow, I'm surprised you calling me." I'm like, "Why?" And she's like, "Because of the email." I was like, "What email?" And when she said that I sent her an email that said we were no longer going to talk anymore, I said, "No, I didn't." And then I looked at my email. I hadn't sent nothing because she had wiped it clean, right? but she had her email that I sent out, and I'm like, and my dumb ass was like, I'm thinking, who the hell? And then I realized it was a girl I was dating, that she was the one who did it. Now she was just very insecure. She cursed out the waitress at TGI Fridays.
Man, there were flags on the play long.
Yeah, I was young and stupid, and because she said she was flirting with me. Yeah, she was very crazy, very crazy. I'm not quite to Aaron's level of crazy. So I don't feel too bad, right? I don't feel too bad because I haven't had no one keep my car. So no, I don't.
That.
Man, that would be. You should be able to drive over somebody that keys your car, though, for real though. But that should be like a law. But yeah, man. So like I said, I had nothing to hide, but she, she was just insecure. I don't know. It was so funny because she thought I was screwing everybody. Everybody, she thought I was screwing. And at some point, I was like, you know what? I wish I was this guy that could go around just like, he sounds pretty cool. Like, I am not that dude that's going around, doing all that stuff. So, but that is what it is. So I don't know. I wouldn't have, to be honest with you, at that point, I wouldn't have cared about, someone going in my email because, but she had sent it to business associates and stuff. She could have messed my money up doing that crazy shit. So no, if it's my wife and we obviously, I would like to believe that if I'm marrying somebody, there is a degree of trust, right? I mean, why would you marry someone you don't trust?
Oh,
I mean, I should be able to leave my email open and my Facebook open, and it don't be a thing, So I like to believe that, but then again,
they might find some shit.
Yeah, I believe in that. If you go look for
Look
stuff,
at
you'll find
a person
it.
differently. So
Absolutely.
I should be able to let my woman
if you feel like
go in on my social media.
If you feel like you want more value or reestablish your trust when it I see it.
Y'all so idyllic. I should be able to. I'm not saying I would. I didn't say. Remember the wording. I didn't say I was going to do it. I said I should be able to. So, but if you were, I mean, if I'm out there like that, I'm gonna have an account that nobody know about.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not out there like that. So
Okay. Well, maybe I won't hook you up with my sister.
Whatever.
Keenan, how
you don't know about.
I was gonna say, Keenan, how about you answer that? How do you feel about social media and significant others having passwords and everything? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it depends on the person too. Like, some people are running a business, doing it for just to be on that. You know what I mean?
Well, you personally, would you have your girlfriend? Would you have your girlfriend? Does your girlfriend have your passcodes to all your social media?
Don't. No, she don't.
Okay. Why is that?
We good. I mean, we don't have to go through that. We never had to experience no kind of endeavors as far as like, look, I got a concern about who DM it, who making personal messages to you, or you got the time to take out for that kind of social media interaction. I mean, like I'm saying, a person like you, yeah, you're attractive. Every picture you might post up, you get like 1,000 likes and 1,000 comments. People may be messaging you, but hey, when it comes to your relationship, it maybe doesn't really matter because you own your shit. But me, like, nah, I never got there, no red flags or nothing. So I don't need to exchange no passwords and spy on your shit.
Hey, has anyone ever been dating someone where you can clearly see that there was somebody that was into your partner, but they were just oblivious to it? Like they were totally oblivious. They were just like, whatever. It's just. Yep. Yes. Yep. It's a bunch of yeses. Oh, hey, LA. So Jada, you've had that happen?
Yes. Yes. It was bad. Like when it's funny because he's my husband now, but when we were dating, he had this girl, this female friend that he would call, like his best friend. And she was clearly like there was an attraction. And she was married. She was married with a kid and all that. But when him and I first started dating and I kind of like dug deeper and he was just like, yeah, he was like, when we used to work together, we would flirt, but he was like, we never took it there. And he was like, that was before I even like met, at the time she wasn't married when they used to flirt and stuff like that. And I was like, no, there's clearly an attraction still there. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm able to tell. And we had to have a real in-depth conversation about that while we were dating. So
Steph, I see your comment. Yeah, my lady didn't want to do that, but it wasn't on no social media shit. It was just like some real life shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you're trying to get from that comment.
It's true. You can't stop.
I agree.
You can't stop, but then sometimes it's next level though.
Exactly. That's what I was going to get.
Like, I mean, yeah, oh yeah, she's in. He's checking out your woman, or she's checking out your man. But then sometimes it's like way too much.
It's blatant.
And then they're like, oh no, Carol don't like me like that.
Exactly.
Like no, Carol really likes you like that, or Okay, D says, I have a question. How do you feel about dating someone and not following them on social media? Does that help or hinder your relationship? That's a great question.
I mean, I think you find out a lot about a person from their social media.
Yeah.
Like, period. How they you can find a lot of morals from them that they go to church, that they do interact with their family. You know what I mean? Look, she don't follow fuck buddies. You see past stuff from them, and you see a lot of character. You can find out a lot about the person from their social media. So I won't hold it against them if they go on out partying all the time. Like you're a fun person, whatever. When we find out how you party, you know what I mean? Are you a drunk? Gotta carry you to the car type of motherfucker, or it depends. It depends on how serious the relationship is too. And I know Shannon will always say this, but the time factor, kind of goes a long way. Are they keeping themselves up in the from 2016 to 2019? Like, how your life been going?
I'm gonna need y'all to be better than fuck buddies, though. I'm just saying.
I'm just concerned about all this time we've invested, and where is the direction? What is the purpose? Like, what are we doing? Like.
Yeah, I'm like, I stacked a lot of money with my girl over these last 13 years. Like, we did a lot of things.
Wow.
We got a house, we got a daughter, we got a lot of things to show. You know what I mean?
So have you guys ever talked about, can I ask you a question, Keena? Like, have you guys ever discussed marriage and stuff like that? Is that something that you guys don't want, or it's just...
we don't really want it. It's too much. It's like that third party situation, and we in Nevada, so it's like, certain stipulations that we don't really like. It's like, it's not even a big issue like that. We really want it to be something cherished with family more than doing it for us. We want to show our family at the same time. So that's been like the biggest thing about it. You know what I mean? Getting the family together.
Can I ask another question? So okay, you mentioned the social media aspect, right?
You said 13 years in a blank. What you mean, Shannon? What was that?
Let's play Hangman. Go.
Why are we playing Hangman with my 13 years though?
Oh my gosh, my guy. Because you just made fun of me for saying I'm gonna complain about the years. So why would we not play Hangman with your 13?
All right, Shannon. All right.
No
All right, so
letters. It's not.
Cool story, bro.
all right. So in the okay, so in a we were talking about social media and should you follow the person that you're with? Does it matter to anybody knowledge in social media that they're in a relationship with you? Now, obviously, Jada is married, so that's like next level. But I mean, like, if you're dating someone, do they need to say, "I'm in a relationship with Shannon. I'm in a relationship with LA, Mary, or Mike or Keenan, or something like that?"
Put the status up.
Right. Put the status on it. Or if they got like it's complicated.
Man, what you ashamed for? What you ashamed for? You still want to be single? That's how a lady will come at me like, or you can't put my name on that we've been together. Shit, you better put that motherfucking name in relationship with, so and so. You know what I mean? If you in a real relationship, I don't know if you still trying to figure it out. Like you might want to title it's complicated. Shit, I don't know how you want to do it. But I know they won't respect you if you put up if the singles still up right now. Like nigga, you really gonna keep the single shit up right now? It's true or false?
Shannon, are you gonna you about to be in a relationship? So Shannon, so does he have to? I mean, does it have to be like right away that you want him to put I'm in a relationship with Shannon Ford Jefferson? Or are you going to give him a couple of months to do it? If he hasn't done it, are you going to say, hey, when you going to do that? Take care of that business, homie?
I mean, what's needed doesn't need to be explained, but I would definitely put it out there if that's what needed to be done. I don't have people coming to me on my social media trying to holler, be in my inbox, sending me dick prints, but I was sure enough let you know I'm with somebody.
Like you
don't get mad if a nigga get some DMs and you be like, girl, that's my man. What the fuck you doing sending that nigga some shit?
What cracked me up? What cracked me up though?
You ain't claiming nigga your shit. That nigga shit said single and your shit say I don't know yet. So
what cracks me up? Does anybody follow like someone who's in a relationship, right? I mean both parties, and like it might be her. It's the picture of him and her as her profile picture, like together, doing some shit. And then you go to his, and his profile picture is like him at the ball game, or him just, it's just a singular picture.
Keep my shit the way I want it. Like this my shit. I don't want to put all the lovey-dovey every weekend. This is what we doing. This is where we at. No, I mean I like to keep my shit personal, like private.
Like how would you feel about that? If you got him and you, or her and you, and as your profile pic on hers or his is like it's just them, like just chilling. Would that mean something to you, Shannon?
What?
As the profile pic, like if your profile pic it has both of them. Okay. If your profile pic has you and him as the profile pic, like y'all booed up, and then on his page it's like him, just him, like he's chilling or something. He's at the ball game or whatever. And does that matter to you?
Are we dating or are we married?
No, y'all like officially dating. It's like now y'all like dating.
I'm not gonna stress about a profile picture because we're dating. I mean, I don't necessarily think I'm
seriously dating.
I don't think I'm stressed about a profile picture if we're married. Like you come home to me every night. I'm putting it on you every night. We balancing it together every night. So at the end of the, I don't give a hell about no social media profile.
That's a good point, Shannon.
Grace, you did that shit.
And like
showing off the girl.
Together, we in this thing together. Like
that's a good point.
I'm not gonna stress about it now. If he wants to put my picture on his profile pic, I'm here for it. But that's not an obligation that he felt that I would make like he would have to do. At the end of the day, I'm secure enough to know, and this is marriage, not my boyfriend, because I don't care what he put on his profile picture as long as it's another woman, because we are no longer together. Unless it's his mama. Look.
All right.
I mean, it just, to me, it's not that serious, because your relationship is not defined by your social media. Has too much clout, and that's why a lot of people are
No, we
breaking
giving
up.
it too much
They-
clout.
I agree. It still has too much clout given by, as you said, us, and that's a choice. I'm not doing that. Like, I'll let you know I'm with somebody, and when it changes to I'm married, I'll let you know I'm married. And at the end of the day, I'm trying to go home and get wrapped up in my bowl. I could care less about what you see on my social media because that's a part of my life. That's not my life.
No, I mean that's a lot of people though that they really care about stuff like that. I want to just say real quick. I want to thank everybody for being on the show. We'll continue a little bit after, but we're about to get cut off. But this was awesome. And Jada, don't leave just yet.
Yeah, don't leave, Jada.
But thank you. Of course, we have Jada Lopez. Keenan, how can we get you, Keenan?
Man, follow me on social media at Kano the Pyro, man. KanoThapyro. And HME Radio, HME at Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff.
And Jada, how can we get you in social media and all that goodness?
Oh, everywhere on all different platforms. It is at Jada Lopez, exactly the same on here. Besides Facebook, though. So no one request me on Facebook, please, because I'm never on there. But everything else, all social media at Jada Lopez.
And your show is?
Oh, yes. Thank you. I'm sorry. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. on Get Vocal. Here we talk about sex, love, and relationships. Yes. Thank you.
Right, Oprah?
Shannon, how can we get you on social media and tell us about your show?
You can't get me on social media because my man says no. No.
I love it.
No, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, Shannon Ford, like the president, Hyman Jefferson, like the president. I think I'm more easily acceptable or approachable on Facebook. The other ones I don't necessarily be on, so I'm the opposite of Jada. And my books, Amazon.com. I write poetry, and I have 5 books out. And my 6th book, Dismantling Daddy Dysfunctions, will be out in 2020.
Yay!
All right.
In 2020. Word to
And-
mother.
Word to the mother. All right. So you can get Kente F on Twitter, and the website's indyradio.org, indyradio.org. We'll be back next week. God bless.